I'm Joe Moroski, and you're watching 222 Productions.
We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. The season finale is coming very soon. But first, let's talk about part 2 of Las Vegas for American Ninja Warrior Season 13, which, in a bit of an unusual format, they're covering Stage 1 for about the first, I would say, 60% of the episode. And then for the remaining 40%, they started Stage 2. So just to remind you, in case you forgot, Stage 1 was the Slide Surfer, the Swinging Blaze, the Double Dipper, the Jumping Spider, the Tire Run, the Warped Wall, the Dipping Birds, and a split decision section of Fly Hooks and the High Road. So they start off with Brett Sims, and they showed some nice early footage of a young Brett Sims, all the way back from American Ninja Challenge 1. Not American Ninja Warrior 1, American Ninja Challenge 1. And yes, they did show American Ninja Warrior 1 footage. Also, this being his 10th season, he missed 3 seasons along the way. I don't know which 3 off the top of my head. But he never cleared Stage 1. Even though the past 3 years he's competed, because I don't think he competed last year, he beat both the qualifier and the semifinal course, which is something not a lot of people can say they did. So, with seemingly him being at his peak, would he be able to clear Stage 1? So, early on, he had a big save on Double Dipper. Some things that you see from people is that they'll try to go switch grip, but sometimes the hand that goes reverse misses on the catch. And that's what happened to Brett. He missed, but he was able to recover and catch again. So good recovery on that part. But he was going at, I would say, not the best pace. He had a minute and 3 seconds at the warped wall. Took him 2 tries. And I thought he took way too much time at the Dipping Birds stalling. And then, just to make it even worse, he got stuck on the fly hooks, and he just took too many swings on the final hook to the cargo net. It's like he could have gone earlier, and he should have gone earlier. He should have just gone for it. You know, time was ticking down. But unfortunately, he timed out at the very end of the course. So similar to episode 1 of Vegas, they started with a run of someone timing out on the final obstacle. In more runs, Brittany Durant failed the Swinging Blaze. She messed up the jump portion and fell. Then Damn Champagne had a close call in the very beginning of the course, but unfortunately he stuck the landing of Jumping Spider, or at least he thought he did, because then he fell backwards back into the water. So he's out too. And then they showed Enzo DiFiore Wilson. He's officially the youngest person to take on Stage 1 in ANW history. Had a big stumble on Tire Run, the run-up. I believe this was the one where he's like, and he's like, he has to stop with his hands, pick himself up, and then do the jump to the first handle. And he was cutting a bit close. He had 57 seconds left at the top of the warped wall. And he got a little bit hung up on the fly hooks. But in the end, at the age of 15 years, 2 months, and 5 days, Enzo DiFiore Wilson became the youngest person to clear Stage 1. And true story, when I was doing my predictions, I originally had Enzo as clearing Stage 1, but then I changed my mind because I thought I was picking too many people. Should have stuck with my gut, you know? Let there be a lesson, kids. Sometimes you gotta stick with your gut. And then, they fast forward Ryan Meeks clearing with 8.06 seconds left on the clock. Jamie Ron unfortunately lost his grip when he made it to the second hook of the fly hooks, and he fell on the course and is eliminated. That sucks. Then they showed Megan Martin, this being her 6th Vegas appearance, and I mentioned before that, criticized Megan for her slow pace, and I was hoping on Vegas, and I was hoping that she would show more urgency to try to beat the clock. Well, we never found out. We never found out if she'd be able to beat the clock because she ended up failing the first obstacle. She did a header into the landing platform of the first obstacle. Basically, I think, if I remember correctly, on the second platform, she stepped too far up on the second platform, and so that sent her momentum forward, and so when she got to the third board, she really went forward, so she almost landed face first into the landing platform, and her entire body half fell in the water. And as you know, in Ninja Warrior, if any part of your body touches the water, you're out, and half your body definitely counts as being out. There we go. Brian Burkhart was next. Equipped with the safety pass, the law ninja. Is it law ninja or lawyer ninja? I think it's law ninja. Took on the course. I was hoping to see him do well. He was having some difficulty on the walk portion of the jumping spider. His feet were slipping and stuff, but he was able to get through. And this was pretty crazy. So he had a minute 4 at the wart wall. Time cutting it a little bit close. So he goes for the high road. And he almost jumps too late. And when I say almost, I mean he dove for it in the air. He hits the springboard, jumps, and just grabs the ring one-handed and is able to clear the course with 21.88 seconds left on the clock. It was actually pretty crazy, the jump, because I thought he was too late. But it's almost like in midair, he was able to just give an extra stretch and just reach out and grab that ring. It was great. It was a good run. Glad to see him move on. He gets to keep the safety pass for stage 2. We'll see how that pans out. And poor Austin Gray, of the 4 safety pass holders, he's the only one to not get featured in stage 1. He got fast forwarded. Sorry, man. That sucks. In more fast forwards, Tyler Yamauchi cleared the course with 25.66 seconds left. And unfortunately, RJ Roman just got stuck on the fly hooks. He couldn't, no matter what, he just couldn't figure out the right technique to get the hook dislodged from the first hook to the second hook. And he wasted a whole bunch of time and ended up timing out on the course. That sucks. So then, Joe Moroski, they showed his second run. Now, one small mistake. I made the assumption, and this is on me, that Joe got to wait until the second day of filming of stage 1 in order to do his second run. But I guess in hindsight, they didn't know that they were going to do a second run, second day of filming. So it would have made sense that he had to do both days, and that's what happened. His second run was the same day, and he still had food poisoning. And I like that they acknowledged that he had food poisoning on television, and it's a good thing that they acknowledged it because you could see it on his face, even more so than his first run. Maybe it's because I didn't know he was sick going into the run, but this time around, you could tell that, whatever was ailing him was really ailing him this time. I don't know what's up with Vegas and food poisoning ninjas, because I know he's not the first person to make it to Vegas and then get food poisoning on Vegas. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe ninjas just need to make their own food. Bring their own food, make it in the hotels or something, but because this is ridiculous. You can't afford to get food poisoning when you're competing for $1 million, damn it. Anyway, the amazing thing is that even though Joe had food poisoning, he still looked really good on the course. He had minute 20 at the warped wall. You could see him visibly in pain just the entire time. He ended up clearing the whole course with 30.24 seconds, which is a really fast time overall. And he was hitting the button just in anger. It's I shouldn't have failed the first time. And it's not often you see someone clear stage 1 not happy. It might be a little taboo to mention this, but it does remind me of when Drew had to use his Drew Dreschel had to use his safety pass on stage 1, and when he cleared it, he wasn't like overly enthused about clearing the course. He kind of like he did like one of these things. He wasn't like he very clearly had a mindset of I shouldn't have had to use the safety pass. But that's where the similarities end between the two of them. Joe, yeah, he's passionate and was very hard on himself, but hopefully he can get it together and feel better for stage 2 and possibly beyond. I picked him to go to stage 3, so I like to see him go to stage 3. If anything, it makes me look good. Now, this is where it became pretty obvious when which runs were filmed in day 2. So the next 3 fast forwards, which actually were done before the commercial break, a rare fast forward segment before commercial break, they said that they started some runs early before the sun went down due to not knowing what the weather is like, which basically says to me that these were filmed at the beginning of day 2 because we didn't know what the weather was going to be like. So Kara Mack, unfortunately, failed the jumping spider, couldn't stick the landing. Heather Wessinger failed the jump to the swinging blades, and Bob Reese failed the landing. I believe that says landing. I cannot read my handwriting. But failed double dipper. So, he's out. We got an ANW Junior promo now currently on Peacock. I saw a few photos of it, and I just want to say that I like the color scheme that they're using now, the black, white, and red, and it makes me think that ANW could really use a bit of a facelift with their set design, but that's another topic for another time. And then in more fast forwards, Kai Beckstrom cleared with 17.71 seconds, and Jonathan Godbout cleared with 8.38 seconds. Kai was one of my picks to make it to stage 3, and the fact that he got fast forwarded, it makes me less confident that he's going to be in stage 3. So, then we had Brett Hernandez Strong. Changed his outfit a little bit, changed the color scheme. I like this new color scheme better. I think you should stick with it. Big talking about a big fluff piece about his grandma and how his grandma introduced him to ninja, and he was going to do it for his grandma. And then he failed the swinging blades, unfortunately. What's worse is that he didn't really fail the swinging blades. He failed the trampoline. He overshot it and landed at the very front of the trampoline. And for the trampolines that ANW uses, when you land in the very front of those trampolines, you just slip right off. You get literally no lift. You land on it, it just gives out from underneath you and just slide right off into the water. That's what happened. Brett very clearly upset, and I can't. Yeah. Sucks. Hopefully he'll come back and do even better. Then Lance Pekas, the sole reason why ANW has to acknowledge the National Beef Association every single episode in the credits. Because he's a spokesman for them, and they put in the credits Lance Pekas is a spokesperson for the National Beef Council, or whatever it's called. Beef! It's what for dinner. I will forever remember those commercials. He flies planes now, so that's cool. But unfortunately, he got bucked off of a tire run. He lost his balance on the middle transfer tire, and when attempting to jump to the second handle, he did a flip and landed in the water and was eliminated. I believe he landed too far to one side, and that threw his balance off, and that took him out. That sucks. Then in more fast forwards, Josiah Pipel cleared the course. That's great. But unfortunately, he was one of my guys that I thought was going to, make it to stage 3. And even though I am perfectly confident in Josiah's technical ability, just from the edit, it makes me less confident. So I hope that we get to see more of him in the future. I hope he clears the stage 2 regardless of the edit. And Zanique Levitt cleared the first half of the course, but she stumbled the run-up of Tire Run and ended up falling on that obstacle. That's disappointing. And then Kyle Soderman, a man that they refused to acknowledge, it seems like, end up clearing the whole course with 41.04 seconds left on the clock, which at the time was the fastest time of them all. Oh my God, yeah. So that brings us to Jake Murray, where they did the whole feature on the Blonde Boys, which was Jake Murray, Hunter Gerard, and Kyle Soderman. And it is sort of weird because like they haven't really shown Hunter or Kyle at all this season, but they've shown Jake, so it's kind of like weird that they're like sticking them together, even though like they're really only featuring one of them. But yeah, basically they do crazy stuff together, something that we've seen them do before, and they have fun doing it, and good for them. Jake, I was nervous about this run when it first started, because they said, oh, Hunter is still left to run, and I thought to myself, uh-oh, because I thought they would save him for last, because, fastest time of the night, and I thought, ooh, maybe he's going to fail, because Hunter's still running, maybe he'll get fastest time. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, spoilers. But not the best line of thinking. But, like, Jake, I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he did it. I just don't know how he did it. This man went so fast through this course at almost what I would describe as a reckless pace. Just a completely reckless pace. But he still made it look good. Mostly. He had 1:45 left at the warped wall, and then he decided he's going to go for the high road. He hits the dipping birds, he stumbles, he almost fails the obstacle, but he recovers, clears the obstacle, and then still reaches and grabs the high road, amazingly, and cleared with, get this, 1 minute and 44.48 seconds left on the clock, which is by far the fastest time of the night, meaning that for the 6th time in a row, Jake Murray finishes an ANW course with the fastest time. This man is on fire right now. He has all the momentum in the world, and that is why he is my pick to win the whole thing. Because he's been doing so well. And I cannot believe. I want to criticize him for being so reckless going for the high road, because like he could have easily done fly hooks. But at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, he did it. So I don't know. Good on you, Jake. Holy crap. Don't give me a heartache. Don't give me a heart attack like that again, okay? I want you to go to the final stage. You can do it. I believe in you. So, in more fast forwards, Hunter Gerard had a weird run based on the fast forward segments that they showed. He was slipping on the jumping spider, had a close run on Tire Run, and took 4 attempts to clear the warped wall, and timed out in the middle of dipping birds. Didn't see that coming. And then Isaiah Wakeham was able to successfully grab the high road and cleared with 14.5 seconds left on the clock, which is probably means he needed it, because he might not have been able to clear flywheels fast enough. And so the final run of stage 1 was Jesse Lebrecq. Now they keep talking about, now in this, about how she's trying to finally clear stage 1. She's had 4 attempts, and 3 of those 4 attempts, she failed the final obstacle. 2 of those 3 attempts involved her failing to grab the trampoline, failing to grab the cargo net. And basically, she just straight up said, I hate cargo nets. So the big question here was, can she finally clear stage 1? Well, let's see. They saved her for the very last run of stage 1, and they keep hyping up that she's trying to clear the course. I wonder what happens. I wonder. I got a pretty good inkling about what's about to happen. She failed. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Although she almost missed the tire run. She the run up to the first handle, she was a little low on that, but she was able to get just high enough to grab it. Had a minute 17 at the warped wall. She didn't go for the high road. Don't blame her. 52 seconds left on the flying hook. So I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, okay, she can do this. She gets to the first hook, jumps to the second hook, and all I'm thinking is like, okay, all she's got to do is make that grab to the cargo net. Finally actually do it. And one of the things that she's been talking about in the fluff piece is about how she's been training while tired and training to grab a frickin' cargo net. Man, I swear, if there was a course with the old school jump hang, she would have a hard time, it seems like, based on what she was describing. She grabs it. She reaches up to climbs the top and clears the course with 20.02 seconds left, making her only the 3rd woman in American Ninja Warrior history to clear stage 1. And I am super happy for her. She's tried many times and she finally did it. I said before that when she completed the course in USA vs. the World, the last edition, that I hope it gave her the confidence to know that she can complete all 8 obstacles of the course, but now it's just a matter of if she can do it within the time limit. And now she has proven that she, in fact, can. So I'm happy for her. All in all, we had 27 clears. And let's just go through. Here are your 27 people moving on to stage 2. Those men were, from fastest to slowest, Jake Murray, Kyle Soderman, Isaiah Thomas, Caden Lebsek, Joe Moroski, Tyler Gillette, Josiah Pipel, Tyler Yamauchi, Sean Bryan, Matt Bradley, Austin Gray, Brian Burkhart, Vance Walker, Jesse Lebrecht, Kai Beckstrand, Tage Harrington, Isaiah Wakeham, Donovan Matoyer, Mike Salinzi, Kevin Carbone, Max Feinberg, Elijah Browning, Jonathan Godbout, Ryan Meeks, Enzo D. Ferrari Wilson, Anthony Porter, and Adam Rail. All in all, stage 1, pretty good. I liked it overall. So now let's move on to stage 2. Alright, let's move on to stage 2. So I asked you on my channel if you liked the course for stage 2, and as of right now, 82% of you said you do. So, one thing that I'll say about this course is that I don't hate it. You know, there's been stage 2 courses that I really don't like. And when I kind of look at it like as a course, it's like, it's fine. It is what it is. It's whatever. But it makes me a little sad to see what they did to stage 2, because like obviously they've had a lot of trouble, you know, in the past with time limits and designing obstacles. So like, it feels like in many ways they were running away from their problems instead of trying to fix them. And one of the things is that like, I really don't want to hear that the reason the final stage is just a rope climb still is because of tradition. This has been the sort of official reason that, you know, why they kept the rope climb as the final stage for so long. And tradition has gone completely out the door for stage 2. First off, I'm sad about how the stage starts, because to me, stage 2 is really cool because you start up high up and you have to have some sort of obstacle that brings you down. And they've just completely eliminated that. Instead, stage 2 has the same starting platform that all the other courses have, and it's really kind of sad to see them kind of like homogenizing the stages a little bit. In terms of size and scope, stages 1 and 2 and 3, they still look very different from, the qualifiers and city finals. But the fact that they all use the same stage now is like it's disappointing, I want him to, mix it up. Have the stages look unique, and that's the other thing, is that, like, from a visual standpoint, I wish they would, like, just change the art direction of each stage. Make it cool, But that's another thing. And also, obviously, it's really disappointing for them to not finish stage 2 with some sort of, wall lift-esque obstacle. It's very clear that they don't know what they're doing in terms of designing a course that could result in someone timing out on the final obstacle, which has happened before in ANW, but they've never designed a stage where that time is truly an issue overall. And as a result, instead of trying to design a course where time is truly an issue, they've run away from their problems by replacing the final obstacle with a failable obstacle, which was previously unfailable and was supposed to be, in theory, a race against the clock. But it is what it is, I guess. I'm not happy about it, but as a course on its own, it's not a terrible course. It doesn't feature any sort of like super long, precision laches like with Wingnut Alley, or some like weird technical precision obstacles like Deja Vu. They've gotten rid of the super big, the super tight precision obstacles, which was like my main problem with stage 2 and them making it too hard. So it's nice, it's different, but at the same time, it is slightly disappointing that 5 of the 6 obstacles are just reused obstacles from past seasons or earlier in the season. I know they've done that in the past with other stage 2s, but there was a little bit more originality with that course in the past. It wasn't complete, it wasn't 5 out of 6 is what I'm trying to say. But now it's definitely, now it's 5 out of 6. So we started with the striding steps, which is like, it's fine as a skills challenge, but it feels weird to have it to be the start of stage 2. It's a nice little balance challenge. It's fine. That's the best way to put it. It's fine. You go immediately from that obstacle to a rope to the double salmon ladder. This is, yet again, another new salmon ladder for American Ninja Warrior Stage 2. This one is nice in that it doesn't require people to turn around to do the double salmon ladder, and so what you have instead is you go up the first rack, and there's a cradle at the top, so you gotta land in the cradle, then you gotta jump to the second rack, make your way up into the next obstacle, which is V formation. Now, as I've said all the way back in my first episode review of this entire season, I don't like V formation. It's a weird hodgepodge obstacle, and the way that the V's are set up, it's lame. Also, it's really kind of awkward how they climb down a pole from the salmon ladder to transition to the V formation, which requires them to climb up, which makes the whole just putting in different obstacles into stage 2 kind of weird. And that's the other thing about this. There's nothing different. As far as I can tell, it's the exact same V formation. Now, this isn't the first time they've done stuff like that. Snapback is the biggest example I can think of. But I don't know. Snapback at least felt a little different to me. And also, I think it was more appropriate as a stage 2 obstacle. V formation, it just doesn't look like it belongs in that spot. It's very weird. That's all I'll say. It's very weird. Then we go to the salmon. We go to the hammer drop. This is what used to be the swing surfer. Instead, so you have to grab this barrel like this, grab the handles, get your legs around it. It swings, and then you gotta make your way up to the top, then jump to the rope that'll take you up to the weird ladder thing that they've had in the past. It's a bit slow, I think is the best way to put it. It's a very slow obstacle, but it's very different in terms of skill set, so I appreciate it, but like, God, it is so slow. It is a slow obstacle. Then we have the Epic Air Surfer. Now this is different from the regular Air Surfer in that it's longer, it's bigger, which is, something that I would expect from them moving a qualifier obstacle to stage 2. Something that I wish they did with V formation, make it a little different. But yeah, it's basically it's the Air Surfer. It just longer. Some people might say, oh, that should be in stage 3. I disagree. I think the Air Surfer isn't hard enough to be in stage 3. I think it's fine in stage 2, personally. And then to wrap it all up, we have the falling shells from the final round of last season. They do look further apart, which is nice. 4 shelves. First 2, you grab from the front, they lock into place. Third one, you grab from the front, does not lock in place, it's free swinging. And then the last one is a reverse grab that you have to then dismount to the landing platform and hit the button to beat stage 2 and move on to stage 3. All this in 3:30, which I've given up when it comes to complaining about stage 2 having a ridiculously long time limit. I'm just looking for like a good course that's entertaining, and at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? It's honestly one of their better stage 2s. As much as, the complaints that I had in the beginning, which, that's mostly personal preferences. As a course, it's not bad, I don't like V formation still. You got people skipping holds, and it's just weird. It doesn't belong. They should have picked something else. Just brought back snapback. Why not? Anyway, first up, Elijah Browning. He didn't get featured in stage 1. I don't think he got featured in the finals, the regional finals either. But big portion on his grandma, Mimi. Ended up losing his hat on V formation. Loses hat of his. He skips the first and third V handle, which is something that you'll hear me say a few times even. And he was making, I don't want to say good time. He had 40 seconds left at the falling shelves, and so that's 10 seconds per shelf. He was cutting it close. He makes the jump for the final shelf. Before he even goes for it, I tell my dad, who was watching with me, watch, he's about to fail. And yes, he failed. And so they showed his run specifically to show you the entire course, but still someone failing. And it's got to suck failing at the very end of the final obstacle. But, hopefully he had a good experience for the season. Then it fast forwards. Anthony Porter failed on the hammer drop. He couldn't get his feet around the hammer during the drop portion, and he slipped right off. And then Tage Harrington failed the Epic Air Surfer when he slipped off that obstacle. Then they showed my man Donovan Matoyer, and I was a little nervous because they were showing him early, and then I was really sad because he failed the first obstacle. He started leaning to the right, and unfortunately he missed the rope with one of his hands, couldn't hold on, and fell straight into the water, and lost his glasses, which really sucks. But you know what, Donovan? You got featured by Snoop Dogg on Instagram for your stage 1 run. So, when you get to go hang out with the A-listers, remember us little people. You'll be fine, Donovan. This was your best season by far, and I know that you will do even better next year. Looking forward to it. And then, surprisingly, showed Vance Walker. And then he failed the double salmon ladder. First time ever. He failed an obstacle in Ninja, American Ninja Warrior, I should say. He's failed Ninja obstacles in like NNL and other stuff. But first time he's failed an ANW obstacle. When on the double salmon ladder portion, when he's getting to the top of the first rack, I think what was happening, based on what the announcers were saying, was that he didn't want to overshoot it, but as a result, he ended up undershooting it, so he ended up getting eliminated. Or was he? No, he wasn't eliminated because he had the safety pass, which I actually completely forgot about watching that run. And he ended up saying, it's like, I'll be using this, I guess. It's like, well, there's no guess. There's no guessing, you're using it. Otherwise, you're going home. You're going to use it. In more fast forwards, Tyler Gillette failed going up the first rung of the double salmon ladder. And they did the stupid Stage 3 curse segment. I just want to point this out. Stage 3 curse is beyond dumb. Because, not everyone from the 21 people who made to Stage 3 competed this season. Some were invited back, like Ryan Stratus, and some are in jail. So, maybe you should stop referencing something that involves a man who's currently waiting trial for doing some terrible things. And honestly, yeah, it's very misleading. It'd be one thing if they mentioned, I don't know how many people who made to Stage 3 competed this year, but if they said something like, of the 19 people who made it to Stage 3 last time competing this season, 7 are left, or whatever the number was, that I'd be okay with. But it's just the fact that it's a little misleading because not everyone even got it to compete is competing. Just saying. Anyway, then Kevin Carbone they actually showed his run. First time all season. For some reason, they just, for the most part, aren't paying attention to Tyler and Kevin, even though they're really good overall. Stop me if you heard this before. He skipped the first and third V's on the V formation. He took some extra... The hell did I write here? Took extra swings on hammer drop? Oh, that's right. Because he got stuck on the rope. Yeah. Sometimes I forget what I write. Yeah, on the transfer off of the hammer drop, he got hung up and ended up eating up some time. And he was very visibly tired when he reached the epic air surfer. He had a minute 30 left, and unfortunately, he on the fourth rung, he was adjusting, and he adjusted too far, and he fell off. So unfortunately, his run ends right there on the epic air surfer. Then they showed Max Feinberg doing it for his mom. He skipped the first V of V formation. And at the hammer drop, I should say, he had 2 minutes and 24 seconds left, but he couldn't get a good grip on the hammer itself, so he failed the drop portion of the hammer drop. And he was eliminated there. And so after the final commercial break, they showed Vance Walker's second run. And he was able to complete the salmon ladder this time around. And when he got to the hammer drop, his left hand missed the grip. But his right hand held on, his legs were able to hold on, that he was able to just keep that grip and not fall, which I thought I immediately saw that and was very impressed with what I saw. Great grip strength by Vance there. And he ended up resting for a full 15 seconds after the epic air surfer gave him 30 seconds at the end of the dropping shelves. He didn't need all 30 seconds. He cleared the course with a time of 5.28 seconds. And so we finish the episode with a stage 1 clear. We are guaranteed to see stage 3, which is not surprising. In the end, we got to see Vance celebrate with his parents. So first season, American Ninja Warrior featured teenagers, and we got to see one of them make it to stage 3. They are really hyping up Vance Walker. I picked him to go to stage 3, so one of my stage 3 picks was correct, but I get the feeling that we might get to see more of him doing in terms of how well he does. It's going to be interesting to see how well he does on stage 3. I might, based on the edit, I might be regretting not picking him for my last man standing, but I'm still going with Jake. I still think he's going to win. I got to believe at this point. I have no choice to believe. I got to believe. Honestly, we need a win. American Ninja Warrior needs a win. After the sad tragedy of their last $1 billion champion, and last season, honestly, not being what it could be because of coronavirus, ANW needs a win right now. And I really want to see it. I think Jake can do it. Or anyone can do it. It's not just Jake. Let's be realistic. Joe could do it. Vance can do it. Other people can do it, maybe. But, yeah. If I can only pick 3 people as, like, my little power team, those are the 3 I picked, but I'm sticking with Jake as my number 1 pick. I think he can do it. I know he can do it. I need to believe that he can do it. And that's all there is to it at this point when it comes to Ninja Warrior. You gotta believe that it can be done. Otherwise, it never will. Thank you all very much for watching. Hit subscribe to know when my next review goes live, and check out some of my passive reviews of this season and older seasons of American Ninja Warrior. Later.